Today on Samuel Plays Brass, we're going to be taking a look at something quite special. So, what we have here is a case. It's quite a nice case. It has the Bach Artisan logo on there. It's got some nice designing. The handle doesn't hurt to carry it with, so that's nice. The latches, you open them like this. They do bite, for anyone who may be wondering. But after all, this is not a review of a case, but rather of a Piccolo Trumpet. So, what is this little monster? Well, it's essentially the same thing as a normal B-flat trumpet, except an octave higher. So if you take your normal mouthpiece and one of 4 pipes that comes with the trumpet, you can either play it in B-flat or in A. Now those are actually, by the look of them, cornet pipes. I use trumpet pipes because I do not have a cornet mouthpiece lying around. So if you simply secure it inside the lead pipe and you plop your mouthpiece in, you have your instrument ready to go. That's the sound of a piccolo trumpet. It's got 4 valves. That's what this 4th slide here corresponds to. Now, all these slides are half the length of what they would be on a normal B-flat trumpet, so if you turn it around and look at this slide here, it's just tiny. Unfortunately, there is no water key here, but there's not really much of a place to put one, considering the tubing just loops straight around into the 4th valve. On the 4th valve slide, there is a water key, which is something, I suppose. So, yeah, you can play a piccolo trumpet in one of 2 ways. You could do it like I do, all 4 fingers on the valves, or you could do it a little bit differently, like this. A lot of people prefer to do it like this. I felt the need to give my pinky a hard time, so I played it like this. So, what does this 4th valve do exactly? Well, that's what I'll give a demonstration of. If we play with 3 valves only, here's the lowest note we can play. Low F sharp. Same thing as a B-flat trumpet, but an octave higher. Now if we kick in this 4th valve, the pitch is lowered by a perfect 4th. What this means is we can go lower. Low C sharp. So that is slightly lower. That's still higher than a B-flat trumpet's lowest note, but it's pretty low. You can kind of flub pedal tones on this thing, but they're not very good, obviously. There's really no point in doing that. You can press down the 4th valve instead of 1 and 3. The 4th valve is pretty sharp though, so you have to have it a little bit out. And you'll still probably have to lip down some. So obviously piccolo trumpets are not meant to play in the low range. Their brilliance lies up high. Now, for a player of my capabilities, it falls short of brilliance, but this is what it sounds like up in the high register. So it's got quite a nice sound, even for someone who's new to the piccolo trumpet. They can play some pretty nice high C's on this. What we hear as high C is actually considered middle C on this horn. That's considered middle C. So one of my friends, he's a college level trumpet player, and he's really good, and he's been looking for a piccolo trumpet. He picked this up and he played a few notes on it, and immediately he concluded that it was a really good horn. And it's not just because of the engravings here. Those do contribute to the beauty of it, but what he saw in it was the interval between middle G and middle C. He really liked that interval. Apparently it's much better than a lot of other piccolo trumpets he's played, so that's always nice. So, we've played on the B-flat side a little bit. let's see how we can play on the A side. So the A pipe is longer and enables you to play a half step lower. This also means that you will need to pull your fourth slide out a little bit more, not too much. So it's got quite a nice sound. This A piccolo is what you're going to use for a lot of orchestral repertoire, which is what I have a piccolo trumpet for. I wanted to get an early edge on it so I can learn how to play some more difficult orchestral tunes. For example, you might recognize this one, though I won't be very good at it. That was a little bit of trumpet voluntary. That actually wasn't a bad run. If you tense up too much and then you release to play the low notes, most of the time you'll flub them, which is what happened there when I played the low C. It sounded pretty bad, but what can I do? I'm not a piccolo trumpet player. So, if we take the B flat side again, how high can you play on one of these? I'm sure you guys are all asking that. I know how trumpet players feel. Surprisingly, you can't play very high on this. Just because you have to manipulate the air in such a way that just you don't necessarily have to do on a regular sized trumpet, it is much harder to play high on. It fights against you until you've worked on it like crazy. I've tried and I've failed. I don't think I can even play as high on this as I can on B flat trumpet. I thought maybe when I first picked it up I'd be able to play a little bit higher. No, I actually can't. However, a piccolo trumpet ensures that your high C and your high D and notes just a little bit above that will be more or less in tune. So if we try and play as high as we can. I really can't do it. So that's what a piccolo trumpet sounds like in the extreme high register. However, you're not typically expected to play that high. In orchestral tunes, in the few that I have played on a piccolo, you'll typically see some middle C's, middle D's, maybe middle F's. And the reason I say F and no other note than that is because a lot of these orchestral tunes are in D major. Which is F on the A piccolo. That's why I like the A piccolo. It allows you to play in these orchestral keys that you typically wouldn't want to play in. Sure, you could use a D trumpet, but especially my Chinese-made one over there doesn't quite have the resonance of a piccolo trumpet. So even if it means playing in F instead of in C, I still find it to be very convenient. Let's see, here's a little bit out of a little piccolo trumpet sonata. Again, in F for piccolo trumpet in A. So that's a demonstration of another orchestral tune. Would I recommend an instrument like this? If you can afford it, absolutely. I mean, we got a pretty good deal on this. A normal Bach Artisan piccolo will unfortunately run you about $3,500, $3,600. We were lucky enough to get it right out of the factory for all of 2700. So I honestly don't know. Don't ask me how we managed to land on such a deal, but I mean, we saw it, we weren't planning on it, we thought about it, and we decided it was too good to pass up. So that is the Piccolo Trumpet. Hope you guys enjoyed.